Hi, it's Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton. We're back in my kitchen. Alright, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to teach you how to make my pizza panzerottis. My panzerottis are basically a pizza pocket, like a little half moon shaped pizza pocket. We're going to start by preheating the oven to 350 degrees. Alright, in a bowl we're going to, you don't have to sift this, and you can use bread flour if you like. I just used all-purpose flour, and it's 2.5 cups. It's 2.5 cups of flour. But what you're going to want to do is keep out about the last half cup. Just set that aside. Okay, we're going to add to that 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just using regular table salt here. This is iodized. And I like mine to have a little extra salt flavor, so I'm going to add just a teeny bit, another 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I like my dough to be a little salty flavored. You do not have to do that. Alright, and in this recipe you can either use Crisco oil or olive oil. I like to use a mix of both, using mostly Crisco oil. Vegetable oil, excuse me. I'm going to blend the salt and the flour together, and this right here just kind of sifts it just a little bit. Blends that salt in there. We need 1 cup of water that's 110 to 120 degrees. And if you want, you can use your thermometer. Okay, you can put your candy thermometer in here just like this. That's perfect. That's about 112. That was perfect, okay? And we're going to take our tablespoon of yeast, and we're just going to proof our yeast. That's 1 tablespoon. More than quite a tablespoon. Sorry. When you get hungry and you're in a hurry, you don't quite do what you're supposed to. Okay, so a tablespoon of yeast, that's equal to 1 package of yeast. And we're just going to take the same whisk, and we're just going to whisk that. Okay, and to that I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. There we go. That's 1 tablespoon of sugar. Okay, I gotta get my liquids up to 1 cup. I didn't quite put in 1 cup to start out with, just so I can mix in the yeast and the sugar. And then I went back and filled it up to 1 cup. You want 1 cup of liquid total. And then that yeast, putting that yeast and sugar together, activates that yeast. You get the water too hot, you kill the yeast. You don't get it hot enough, the yeast might not react. So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to just proof it for about 2 to 3 minutes. It might take up to 5 minutes in the winter, but it's 100-degree day outside. I mean, you can see it's already proofing. It's already bubbling. Now here I'm just making 3 little wells. Things I'm going to put on my pizza while this is raising. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray my cookie sheet with a little bit of butter-flavored Crisco. You can make your own, by the way, of that. It's a little bit of butter flavoring and a little bit of canola oil, olive oil, or vegetable oil, or even grapeseed oil. And you can just put this in a pump. Just save one of your old butter pumps. Just save one of your old butter pumps like this. And then that way you don't get the butane that's in this. Okay? So that's up to you. And for our toppings, we've got, I love this ragu, traditional or classic, either one. Classic I think is a little bit more chunkier, but I really like the ragu pizza quick sauce. And I love mushrooms, so we've got some great value mushrooms here that I had in food storage. We're going to use that. I got a nice tomato here from the farmer's market. That needs to be used up. And then we got some really nice grated Parmesan cheese. You know, whatever you like. And then here I have a package of the great value Colby and Monterey Jack cheeses. That's what we like. You can use mozzarella, you know, whatever you like, even goat cheese. You know, I'm gonna get some goat cheese. Forgot I had this ham in here, so I'm gonna take some of this diced ham and put on our pizza as well. And then also some goat cheese. This is raising. It all looks well. It's nice and foamy. You can see how nice and foamy it is here on top. That's perfect. So what we're gonna do now is we're just going to drizzle this right inside of here. Pour a little bit in here, pour a little bit in there, a little bit in here, kind of mix that together. Around the outside edge here just a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna pour it all in because I got that other flour and I can add into this. And before I get too far here, I'm gonna add in my oil. I need 2 tablespoons of oil. So I'm gonna go with 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil or canola, whatever you like. And I'm gonna go with 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Just because that's the flavor that I like. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go mostly with olive oil. I don't want too much, vegetable oil. I don't want too much olive oil flavor in this. But I need this dough to be nice and supple. And that ought to do it right there. That ought to do it. Okay, and I'm kind of blend this in together here. Just get those ingredients nice and wet. Sprinkle a little bit of that other flour if you have to. That dough, see it comes together really quick, really easy, really nice. Like I said, you might not need all this flour, so let's just knead a little bit in here. Just knead it right here inside the bowl, that's fine. You don't want to make it too firm. I'm not going to need the whole 2 cups, 2.5 cups. I'm not going to need that full other half cup. And I'm just going to knead this a minute. Don't over knead it. We're just trying to stretch those glutens and get them more elastic so it will raise well. And again, I'm just doing this right here inside the bowl. Just a couple turns, maybe about 30. Okay, that's nice and elastic filling now. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this spray here. Like I said, you can use the butter spray. Again, you can use the olive oil. That's fine. I'm just going to use the butter spray. Okay. So I'm just going to spray this with the butter flavored Crisco or Pam or whatever you've got there, all the way up to the top of this pan. We're going to take this, spray the top just a little bit, give it a turn, get a little bit of the grease on there. Okay, now we're just going to place a clean towel over the top, and we're going to let this rest until it's double. Now if you're in a hurry, then just let it rest for about 20 to 25 minutes while you go in after work, take a shower, or what have you. You can even make this up in advance and wrap this in plastic wrap and sit this in the refrigerator and then unthaw it, go take your shower, and then sit this in a very, 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 very low oven with the door open and let it rest that way, okay? Again, we just need to maintain right around 80 to 95 degrees and we'll get this to a raise. So I'm gonna go take this over and put this in my auxiliary oven that I have set at about 90 degrees. And then I'm gonna shut the oven back off as soon as I put it in there, and I'm gonna open the door and crack the door. This will help this to raise faster because I'm hungry. Okay, I want to thank my subscribers for, and they got me this beautiful bamboo cutting board. Isn't that beautiful? It's got my name on it, and I think I might use this new emblem that they designed me. I might use that, but they had this done, and it says YouTube partner. Isn't that a nice little award and prize? I love that. They're really ripe. It'll be really, really good inside this pizza. And by the way, I keep my flour in the freezer. It's just a tip. And when I know I'm going to use my flour, I thaw it out in the morning. This just keeps the bugs and the larvae and stuff out of it. Keeps the bugs out of my kitchen too that would be normally attracted to it. We bring things home sometimes from the grocery store and from granaries and stuff and cereals and stuff. So I try to keep my flour separate. There you go. And by the way, I'm going to keep this container because I can put jam in this, and I can get these right here. It's the pop top style, and I can recan these in the water bath canner, and I can get these to reseal. So I always keep these, and these will be great for making Carter his baby food. And these have got the same seal top on them right here. See, I can reuse this for jams or baby food or jellies or whatever as well. So I'm going to keep those jars and those lids. Okay, now I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of flour here on my little pastry cloth. Doesn't take much. I might need a little bit, but not much. Remember, we don't want to make this dough too heavy. Too heavy a dough is too hard and it won't rise. We want a nice, soft pizza dough in the center and a little bit of crispy on the outside. And what we're going to do here is we're going to divide the dough in half. That's nice and soft. And then we're going to divide the dough in half again. That's 4 pieces of dough. There we go. We roll these balls up here. See that? And we're just going to cover that bowl up and set it aside. Keeping that cloth on, keeping those warm so they'll raise. They can definitely continue to raise. Okay, just a little bit of flour here on my, just going to put a little bit of flour here on my rolling pin. Give this one turn in the flour. I'm going to kind of pat it down. I'm just going to lightly roll this out. Now, depends how big you want your pizza pocket. When this is folded over and this continues to rise, this makes still for a pretty good sized pizza pocket. So, you got little kids, make them a little heavier duty and a little thicker. For adults, make them bigger. There you go. It's perfect. See, these are going to be pretty good size. Look at that. Trust me, these will thicken up. These were my kids' favorite, by the way. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and put the stuff on the cloth and try not to get anything on the cloth so I can continue to roll them out. And then I'm just going to put them here onto that greased cookie sheet. Start with a little bit. I'm going to stir this because the thicker stuff, you'll feel that on the bottom. There you go. I'll make this one for me. I don't like a lot of tomato sauce. That's plenty for me. My husband likes more tomato sauce than I do. Do not get it on the edge here. There you go. Maybe a little bit more. Because we're going to seal those edges up. So be sure and keep that edge free of any sauce. And what else do we want on here? We want the mushrooms. Let's put on the tomatoes next. I like my tomatoes cut up just a little bit. I like whole tomatoes in there. These are juicy, so I don't want to put a whole bunch in mine. My husband's definitely the tomato eater. We want a little bit of ham. Remember to wash your hands between each thing so you don't cross-contaminate. That's enough ham for me. I love mushrooms, so I'm going for the mushrooms here. Good. Keep them spread out so I get a mushroom in every bite, because that's how I like it right there. Now, what kind of cheeses do we want? I'll put on a little bit of this Monterey Jack, Colby and Monterey Jack cheese. And I like cheese, so you can adjust however much cheese you like. And I'm going to do a little bit of this Parmigiano. Go. We're going to take a little bit of this warm water and kind of brush it on the sides, getting it just a little bit pasty here. And we're going to do that all the way around, just like that right there. If you want, you can even use your finger. Matter of fact, I think the finger makes it a little bit more pasty. Make sure you get that pasty feeling. There we go. We got it right there. This is already raising again. All right. And we're going to fold this over without breaking it. And we're going to seal it just like that right there. Just kind of pat it down just like this. I'm lightly patting it. Sealing it. And then we're going to take and we're going to fold it. I'm going to fold the corner in just like this right here, just like I would tuck for a quilt. This corner goes in and just like that. And I'm just going to keep folding over just like that right there and pinching just like that. Kind of rolling and folding, rolling and folding. Just as if you were hemming a dress. Okay, and then I'm going to give it a pinch, just like you would a pie crust. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to take this carefully and set it over here on my cookie sheet. So I'm going to put a little bit of flour here on my fork, and I'm just going to poke 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you go all the way through. And then there you have your first Panzerotti. And then we're going to cover these. We're going to put 2 per cookie sheet, 3 if you have a larger cookie sheet. And remember, this recipe makes 4. So you can double this recipe and make 8 if you got guests. Kids love these things. They really, really love these things. See, I got a little bit of tomato there on there. I was trying not to do that. Let's get another warm ball of dough here. That out just like we did. A little bit of flour on a rolling pin, and again we're going to do it again. And again, these are for smaller kids. Make them about that size. Actually, you could probably cut the dough again. You could probably do the dough and make instead of 4 of these, you could probably make 5 or 6 of these. You could probably divide the dough again. This one's for my husband. He likes lots of sauce. Again, I'm trying not to get any sauce onto my fabric cloth here, and I'm trying to stay away from the edge here. Like I said, my husband likes the sauce, so some extra sauce in there just for him. All right, what does he like? He likes the tomatoes too. Again, I'm going to cut these. I'm going to break these down just a little bit. They're just so juicy. And he really likes the tomato, so we're going to pile them in here. There we go. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to put the goat's cheese on mine. I'll have to make another one anyway, so don't forget that the next time. All right, he likes ham. He basically likes everything that I like, but he likes more of it. No cross-contamination. And then he likes lots of mushrooms too. He's definitely a mushroom lover like I am. There's the cheese. Cheese, Parmesan for him as well. Again, the water on the edge. There we go. All the way around. Yeah, I'll have to wash my pastry cloth after this, but that's no big deal. I wash it about every other time I use it anyway. Okay, is that everything? Oh, he likes goat cheese too. Goat cheese. He's going to be lucky with this one because I forgot to put goat cheese on mine. To me, goat cheese just makes anything, doesn't it? I mean, leave a comment below and let me know. Do you like goat cheese? Okay. Okay, we get everything on here? Okay, we did. All right. So again, we're going to fold and pull and press. There we go. Fold, pull, and press. Try not to get any of that sauce on that upper layer as well. This one's going to be harder to move. Fold in, fold in, fold in, fold in. There we go. Try not to tear it. I try never to have long fingernails because you can tear dough really easy, and I like to bake bread, so. And again, I'm going to fold it again. Gives it a nice crust. You can even dip this edge crust here. You can tear it off and dip it in cheese sauce if you have it. And we're going to give it a pinch. Just like we did the other one, kind of a rope look to it. There we go. This is so heavy, I'm going to be fast. Fast! There we go. Flour the fork, and 3 pokes. There we go. I'm going to set these aside and I'm going to let them raise for about another 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to put them in the oven at 350 degrees because I'm in a convection oven. 350 degrees, and if you're not in a convection oven, you can probably go 360, 355, 360. That's fine. But I'm going to put these in the oven, and you know what I forgot to do? Can't do anything yet. I gotta brush them either with olive oil or butter spray, and I'm gonna choose the butter flavored spray. This will give it a nice sheen coat on top. And I'm just gonna do it for the sake of this. You could even put a little bit of your garden oregano right here, right on top. Just a little bit. Right there you go. Just for a little color. There you go. Right out of my garden. Okay, again, we're just gonna cover these up. And we're going to raise them up over here for another 5-10 minutes, and then we're going to slip these in the oven. All right, I'm going to make the other 2. As a matter of fact, probably what I'm going to do, instead of making the other 2, what I can do with these right here is I can roll these either into breadsticks and bake up some nice breadsticks, or I can put a little plastic wrap on them and keep them from raising any further, and we can have these tomorrow for lunch. We can even put these on the sandwich maker. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to make a couple, well, I'll save these for tomorrow. I'll spray this with a little bit of butter spray. So it won't stick for me tomorrow. There you go. Slide this into a Ziploc baggie. And I reuse my baggies. It worked until the static in there. All my hairs on my hand stood up. That was funny. Remember, you can double this recipe. Boy, it's fun to be back in the kitchen again. Baking and making things and showing you things that I've taught myself how to do over the years and other people have taught me. This is one of the recipes that I made up here. We're just going to slip these in the oven. 350 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. Well, we'll start at 17 and see how that goes. The outside should be nice and toasty brown. Okay? That's how you'll know it's done. Dive into it, Daddy. Daddy's going to take his first really good bite. Let's see inside there. I put goat cheese in yours.
Good.
Okay.
That's great.
You said before you even tasted it. As soon as the fork went in your mouth. Everybody's going to think that you give me tints no matter what I do. That's hot, so be very, 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 very careful.
It's great.
That was so rehearsed. All right, so I'm going to cut into mine here real quick. In fact, I'm just going to cut mine halfway in here. I mean, even if you feel that you can't eat the whole thing. Oh my goodness, look at that. You seeing what I'm seeing here? You could put green peppers in here. Ooh, I should have put some black olives in here. All right. Now remember, this is hot, so be very, very careful. I'm going to blow on it. Yeah, let me get a hold of it here. Oh, that is really good. Oh, I blow on that one. And again, you can dip this crust here. You can dip this crust here in the cheese sauce. That's good. The crust is not too salty. Has a nice flavor to it. If I had rolled it a little thicker, then I would of course had a thicker crust. Duh. But I like mine. It held together nicely, just being thin and flaky like this. That's a thumbs up. Anyway, this is Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton. I hope you've enjoyed this recipe, and I hope that you try it, and you should, because the kids love this. My kids love this. Anything pizza's good.